Right, let us continue with the MSQ. Did I start recording? I did start recording. I'm good at this stuff. Now that the danger is behind us... Oh no, I think I've read all these, haven't I? Among the abandoned, Kryl is eager to begin searching the research facility. While we've discerned the purpose of the research conducted here, the traces of it that remain might afford us greater insight to what came of it. Let's take a look around for information, as well as a way to the upper level. Nod. I took a look at the glamour for the dungeon, and once again it's a disappointing maiming set. They're just... I think the thing that saddens me about Reaper the most is that I don't like many of its glamour options with dungeon gear. That is not me saying, oh, they're really bad, they're ugly, they're poor designs. No, it's just like, but then they're just not my cup of tea. I don't like them. The aesthetic is not something that I'm generally fond of, which is why I'm stuck with this one for a while. I think the simpler outfits, and don't get me wrong, this is quite a gratuitous outfit in many ways, but I find the simpler outfits more usable, I guess, and the maiming set for the dungeon, it's just a bit too fluffy. It's got a few too many bows and accoutrements on it. So, yeah, I quite like the fending one though. So if I run the dungeon again, in fact, can I even do it on Dark Knight? Do I have the... No, I don't even have the item level. Why have I got a level 98 earring? Yeah, I don't have the item level on Dark Knight. I could probably pick up some cheaper accessories or whatever, or maybe even. Is that just a wheelchair and an eye? Yeah. There's stuff I can do. What am I looking for? Oh, this obvious gate that Alizé's found. It won't open. I don't think it'll yield to our shoulders either. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and find the key. But if I pat it... Okay. I think I would have liked a slightly more disturbing version of the music to go with this. Are these the ones that we saw in the... I'm recruiting volunteers for a new experiment. I know I'm not as bright as the others, but they wouldn't laugh at me if I was stronger than them. This might be my chance. Soul transferred a few days ago. I can write. Good, yes. I'm good. Very good. Getting hard to control strength. Today bit off and a feeder. Cannot help it. So strong. Hungry. Always hungry. Cannot control. Eat. I must eat. I'm eater. Must eat. Okay, that was not one from the dungeon. Yeah, this is very Resident Evil. You know, from the kind of overall aesthetic, the hexagons on the wall. Supplies for the staff are neatly arranged within the cabinets, and among the various items is a manual outlining regulations and tranquilizing gas to be used in emergencies. You dig deeper and find a verification key. Perhaps it can be used to open the iron gates. suppose I should talk to the NPC, shouldn't I? It makes me angry to think about what they did here. The researchers likely moved between the upper and lower levels. Perhaps we can find a key among their belongings. I found the key, Cryle, but thanks. And... you found the key? Great, I'll call the others. I was going to say, and open! Because I am Claptrap. That's a nice shot. Good framing. It seems the key can be used to operate the lift as well. How do you know this, Alizé? We go then. Again, a very deliberate camera angle choice, adding to that survival horror vibe. It's got like the Nest vibes from, was it Resi 3 or Resi 2? So, this is the observatory. I didn't expect it to be similar. This is a far cry from the temple that held Valamander. All the machinery appears to still be in operation. I expect there are auxiliary systems in place to ensure that monitoring can continue even in emergencies. The warnings indicate various anomalies, related to the seal's failure most likely. For a blessing, we managed to fell the beast before it could cause harm. Right then, let's see if we can find some clues about Galool Ja's mother. I think I can use this terminal. Shell taught me how. Beep, 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 beep. He can't reach most of it. There's so much data. I don't know what we should look at. Perhaps we can narrow down the search by inputting the name Dawntrail Ja. He just reminds me so much of a sock puppet. I'm sorry. I know that's... It's like he looks a little bit... You know, if you take away the horn and you painted him green, he'd look a little bit Kermit the Froggy. Yeah, it's brought up a lot of results. They all seem to say the same thing. Dawntrail Ja, Administrator of Experimental Treatments. Research logs. This sounds good, doesn't it? Depends what you find. Chances are the data is encrypted, and even if not, it will take considerable time to go through it all. Then let us take it with us to the back room and have Shale analyse it. Agreed. Well, we do have a USB stick. Oh, as does Galool Ja, apparently. Alright, I'll transfer it to this storage device I bought. Why did you? There, it's finished. Thank you so much for bringing me all the way here, everyone. You're welcome, Your Majesty. If you're happy, then so am I. Besides, I was able to learn more about my brother as well. It was a fruitful adventure for the both of us. Oh. Ah. Trying to figure out where we were for a second. I admit the Tuval gave me a fright at first, but then I remembered who felled the mighty Valamander. I'll not soon forget our visit to that facility. It was a troubling reminder of the depravity that can arise from the belief that souls are simply a resource to be exploited. Thank you, Preacher No. It seems safe to say my brother returned to Uriwat for the Tuval. He wanted its power, no matter the cost. I'm glad we could find what we sought in that abandoned facility. Calusa is really good at driving the hover cargo. I wonder if I can learn how to drive it too. All in good time. You're a bit tiny for the pedals. And here we are. The authorities will doubtless wish to be informed about the facility and its contents. But first things first, let us deliver the data to Shale. Yes, do we want to let... And we have got 2 dungeon icons on the map. They don't do that too often. Not many places where you get 2 dungeons right next to each other. Yes, do we want to let the authorities have access to that facility just yet? You found information on Galool Ja's mother. You will never cease to amaze. Having now spent some time in these harsh environments, I feel I have a better understanding of how much of a steadying presence Fiend was to her people. Galool Ja had no trouble keeping up during the outing. He really is his father's son. It was Shale who gave me the storage device before we left. She said that we'd probably need it. And we did. She's smart, is Shale. From what I can see, things haven't changed much since the funeral. People are still listless like before. I've been thinking, it may behoove us to learn how to use the various devices found throughout Alexandria. Better late than never, after all. The data will be in good hands with Shale. Welcome back. Galool Ja has already given me the storage device. There looks to be a wealth of data, all of which is encrypted, so I'll need time to process everything. As expected. In that case, Alazari and I might take ourselves around the city and check on the people. Aye, the mood has us a bit worried. I don't know if there's anything we can do to help, but we'll see. Understood. I'll let you know as soon as I finish my work. Thank you. We'll see you again soon. That was a pretty straightforward quest. Oh. I was confused for a second. Decrypting files isn't the hard part. It's where the number of digits in a password is unknown when the long nights begin. I met some members of Oblivion on my way back here. They themselves were returning after having paid their respects to Sphene. I suspect the Alexandrians' plight reminds Alphinaud and Alizé of the Garleans. Little wonder they feel compelled to exist. To assist? In any way they can. Alphinaud feels compelled to exist. I'll stay here with Shale. There's a lot I can learn just from watching her. I share our friend's concern. It's not surprising that the Alexandrians are having difficulty coping with their grief, but still. Guidance of the Hhetso. Alizé ain't wrong. The mood out there is still grim. Some of the Tirali remember a time before they were dependent on the Sol system, but even they're unsettled and wondering aloud if they'll have the chance to reunite with old friends and family before they pass on. Good reason too. The journey home won't be an easy one for those who've grown old. That's why it's mostly been younger folk who've been leaving for Tiral, ones with no elders to care for. But that problem has reached us in Tuliolal. My brother is doing all he can to see Shak-Tiral Railroad restored to operation, so that people may come and go more freely. Unfortunately, the tracks only go as far as Vanguard, so some travelling by foot will still be necessary. Even so, the railroad would make things a sight easier. How long before it's back in service? I couldn't say. When I left for this visit, Koana seemed reluctant to make promises. But while Shale's working on the data, we could go and see the state of it for ourselves. To Shaloni Station then. I'll make sure to keep Koana informed. Yes, because they had... There was that quest about the Hhetso, the Makote tribe being worried about the animals. Because the animals were struggling to deal with the railroad, people thought, but also there was the tremors. The timescale for which was never made particularly clear. You know, was it the the kind of preemption of the dome appearing, or was there more to it? No, some longer and further reaching consequence. Vow resolve! And damage and Blackthorn to boot. What can I do you for? Oh, he's supposed to be American, isn't he? We are hoping for some good news about the railroad. There's an increasing number of people looking to return to Tural that can't make the journey on foot. I see. As it happens, the Vow Resolve is also on his way here to take stock of the situation. I can't do this accent, but I'm going to try anyway, because it's funny, especially when I'm all croaky. Ah, Scratchy on his way. God, I'm really bad. Hi, Koana. Oh, what are you wearing, Erenville? Gasp! Did that little bun finally outgrow his own... I shouldn't say that, really. Stop that. As you well know, my previous attire was that of a gleaner, and I have chosen a different path. It was time for a change. I bet people are going crazy for that V-neck. You're here about the railroad too. It was in part for my sake that the original Dawnblazer was sacrificed, so I felt it only right that I assist with the replacement. Speaking of which, I assume Lamity has explained the growing urgency of the need. What have you to report? The new locomotive was on track for completion, but we're having difficulty pulling her into the station, in a manner of speaking. You see, when we used the Dawnblazer to get into the dome, urgency outweighed all other considerations. But now we're back to our original problem: how to run the railroad without upsetting the inhabitants in the west. That is the Ronique. Though the Hhetso that follow them are none too pleased about their Hhetso being spooked by the noise of the locomotive either. The solution I've devised to quieten the railroad should address that complaint. But a silent train presents a different danger. The Ronique will need to be deterred from wandering across the tracks. I suppose we can't just blow the whistle at them, or they'll panic and be put off their grazing again. Weren't the rail routes plotted to avoid the Ronique's preferred grazing areas, though? It's odd that they're getting so close in the first place. The Ronique's grazing patterns have shifted since the tracks were laid. I'm not certain why, but I intend to ask the people of my West for their insight. I'm just making random bunches of sounds, which arguably is just my commentary in general, so there we go. As a major proponent of the railroad, I have a duty to assist in this matter, and I too would hear what the Hhetso have to say about it. They are the ones most affected, after all. I believe it would be best to begin by consulting their leader, Hhetso. The rest of you can accompany us to the Hhetso encampment if you like. Sure. Thanks for the permission. What is it? Oh, he's got a little Kakiwa charm on his backpack as a little reminder. That's quite sweet. Yes, I bet people are going... just because the thirst in FF14 is real for a lot of people. That kind of B-neck? B-neck. Bun neck. The V-neck on Erenville's shirts. The glistening collarbone. I'm sure people will be appreciative of that. Obviously, I am still avoiding social media for FF14 related stuff because I haven't finished the MSQ and I don't want any spoilers. As committed as the Hhetso are to tradition, they are amenable to the unfamiliar, or so I am told. Yes. To think all of this can be packed up at a moment's notice to follow wherever the Ronique lead. Our prior visit to the Hhetso was all on railroad business. Pray they do not take us for train enthusiasts. That's Koana, for a reason, is it not? Oh yes, because they hadn't met. He was quite, if I remember correctly, wasn't he quite interested in meeting Koana? Reason? No. I've read that completely wrong. I've got two choices, and I chose the wrong one. Well done, me. For our resolve, for our reason, I bid you welcome to our camp. But what brings you all the way to bunch of syllables? I thank you for seeing us. Our visit concerns the matter of the Shaktaral Railroad. And fade up to black. And fade down. Oh, no, fade in from black. You too have noted the unexpected change in behaviour then. My son Hhetso has been looking into the matter. Hhetso? Normally, we'd expect the Renit to keep to their favourite grounds nearby for a while yet, and despite a thorough search, we haven't found anything wrong with the quantity or quality of the grazing in Pure and Yet they refuse to keep to where they usually would, instead pushing westward towards your railroad. I certainly see no cause for this unseasonal even, migration. Nevertheless, should they continue to move west, we will follow. As any true Hhetso would, I suppose. As you may have surmised, I am of Hhetso descent. My parents travelled with the Renit as well, though I myself have no memory of the experience. I was left behind as a babe, you see, during such a migration. One of many sacrifices necessitated by a nomadic lifestyle, I am forced to assume. Oof. It's a little bit passive-aggressive. A chance encounter with a kind Palu merchant was the only reason I survived. Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade that I might fend for myself. I became a stallkeeper in Tuliala's markets, and that is where the Dawn servant found and adopted me. We didn't know that, did we? That's a little bit extra at the backstory. We knew he was abandoned by the Hhetso. I had already been in the palace some time when Lamity came to join us. Like me, she'd been cast aside by her parents. I knew the pain of solitude and wanted to spare her that suffering. As this tiny child's new brother, I swore I would always be there for her. He's very sentimental at times, isn't he, Koana? /comfort. Truly? I've never heard of the Renit choosing a path so arduous to force such a terrible decision, nor of any Hhetso willingly leaving their own flesh and blood behind. There must have been some exceptional circumstance. See, I figured this would be the case. I may even have voiced it during the MSQ. The abandonment of a child, based on what little we saw of these people, just didn't sound plausible. I cannot say. The idea of following in their footsteps that I might better make excuses for their actions never much appealed to me. Given it might help you better understand the Renit's current behaviour, appeal to his reason. As is so often the case, you are correct. Though my discomfort with the Hhetso way may arise from fear of reopening old wounds rather than blind fervour for innovation, it would nevertheless see me repeat past mistakes. And to refuse to learn one of our country's treasured traditions would make me a poor dawn servant indeed. Please, teach me of the Renit and what they mean to you. I promise to listen with an open mind. We will be delighted. In the meantime, your companions are welcome to look around. At what? What do we have to look around at? Will you learn... Oh, the culture stuff. Will you learn a Hhetso culture with me? I should like to approach this with the fervent curiosity that you and my sister share. But it would be useful to know whether I am doing it correctly. It's settled. You'll learn more of the Renit, and we'll have a look around the plains, and perhaps in the process we'll find the answers we seek. I've just realised Erenville has pants as well. Because he had shorts, was it before? My knowledge of the culture I was born into is from written accounts alone, and few of them at last. It'll be a joy to share our traditions with the new Dawn servants, as we once did with Galool Ja. The quickest way to learn about our way of life is to do as we do. Hope you're not above manual labour. I'm not the most experienced, I'm ashamed to admit, but I shall put forth every effort. That's all we ask. Take these tools. Roop. Roop. Corn servant. Now, introduce yourself to anyone who looks busy and ask if you can help. I'll be happy to teach you what to do in exchange for another pair of hands to do it. Let us meet back here to share what we've learned. Sure. I'm happy enough doing general menial tasks. Ooh, we've got a few to do as well. Speak with various people. Hello, ruffled Runique. As you stroke the Runique's coat, you note that many portions are shaggy and tangled. This one's fur's a bit overgrown, but a good brushing should thin it out. Would you like to give it a try? You need the right tool for the job, mind you. A comb of the type you're used to would just get lost in the tangle like as not. Fortunately, I have this fur brush. Ah, Schmetter sent a Runique brush with you, did he? How like him. Now, just run it through, one little patch at a time. Gently. You dutifully brush the Runique until your arms grow weary from the prolonged battle with its coat. It appears much tidier now. The same cannot be said for your clothes, which have acquired a new coat of their own. And there's a lot of holes in this for hair to get into. Well done. With less excess fur, our friend here will be more comfortable in the afternoon heat and less susceptible to illness. The cone coat also makes it easier for us to identify injuries should the need arise. Okay. That little noise the alpaca makes when you summon it. Meow. A little Runique. You're learning about the Hhetso way of life, are you? I may have a thing or two to share, but rather than talking your ear off, let me test your powers of deduction. I find answers much easier to recall later if I arrived at them myself. Ahem. Our Hhetso provide us with something that we use in medicines, poultices, and soap to drive away pests to sustain our fires. What is it? Is it dung? Again? It sounds like there's a story there. That is indeed the correct answer. We've discovered myriad uses for Runique chips over time, each a boon to our way of life. Where there is a need, our Hhetso always provide. Is it dung? Again. Yes, it is. Hello, troubled Hhetso. What troubles you? Ah, this won't do. The wind'll go right through it. And me without my nindle? Nindle? I'm not doing very well with this reading thing, am I? My needle and sinew. But fortunately, I have this mending kit. Oh, these are precisely what I needed. I should be able to patch up the covering now. Given how often we pack up and reassemble our tents, they're bound to get the occasional tear. Fortunately, the Runique hide they're made of is durable enough that we generally needn't worry. So they really do rely on them for basically everything. I'm afraid I've finished with my tasks for the time being, but since you're so eager to learn about our way of life, why don't I tell you a bit about our migration customs? If you're here, you likely already know that the Runique are our Hhetso, our guides, that we travel with through the turning of the seasons. We trust them to lead us to fertile lands, with all we need to survive. But you may not know that sometimes the herd splits into two, bound for different paths. On these occasions, we Hhetso must also part with half of our number. You may think it is a strange and stressful custom, but over the years it has seen us visit new lands and broaden our horizons as a people. This too is the wisdom of the Hhetso. I assume the herd splits evenly for that? The succubus has joined the party? You smell of the grass and the wind. Which is a good thing, I promise. You could nearly be mistaken for one of us. Or at least an adventurous Shatona. I have to wonder how Valkona's getting on. I assumed he'd be reluctant to get his hands dirty, but it seems his wish to understand us was sincere. Well, he puts machines and stuff together, so... Ah, there he is now. Have you got him covered in dirt? That would be funny. No. Oh, he's made a friend. Didn't realise their little quiffs did that. He's pleased with himself. Apologies for my tardiness. I was tasked with grazing the Renique and ended up rather far afield. I found myself wandering hither and thither at my companion's inclination. To force us back to the trail seemed inappropriate. But how was your own work? Have you anything to share? The Renique are treasured members of this community, as important as family. Yeah, indeed, the Renique provide for the Hhetso, and in turn the Hhetso are good to the Renique, just as family should be. Yeah. Mine is not the only way, although at times I lack the experience to know otherwise. My inability to conceive of how a decision might be right does not mean that it is wrong. My parents had a duty to the Renique as they did to me, so I wonder if their leaving me behind was not so selfish an act as I once believed. But they did leave you on your own. I have no way to know, of course, and regardless, this has no bearing on our present concerns. We are here in service of the people of Tural, after all. Nevertheless, I thank you for helping me find deeper meaning in what we've done today. And I will endeavour to remain curious, especially where the Hhetso are concerned. I am glad to hear that, Frau Koana. You are welcome among our herd any time. A little bit more of the world building. I feel like realistically they maybe wanted to do a bit more of that in the MSQ for 7.0, but the pace of this zone was already a little bit weird, so... The warmth of family. Koana appears to loathe to part from his Renique. Uh-oh. Oh, are they looking over stuff? I thought they were spying. Oh. Koana, how did it go? I believe I finally understand the significance of the Hhetso. They nourish the Hhetso as they grow and provide warmth and companionship in a harsh and unpredictable world. They are the equal of any man, not beasts to be tamed. Moreover, Renique is sensitive. Though we may treat their injuries or brush their coat to keep them hale, they must ever be free to follow their instincts and seek lands where they might thrive. The Hhetso would never cage them, and neither should we. To control their migratory patterns or capture those who wander too close to the tracks is out of the question. Then it is particularly important to advance our original line of inquiry. Fortunately, we were able to visit the Renique's once favoured grazing grounds. As we were told, the grass looks fine, but the place is too quiet. It's not just the Renique, even the birds and field mice have fled. We did encounter one pack of Ceratoraptors, but they looked to be passing through in a hurry. Typically, that sort of behaviour in the fauna would be associated with natural disasters, earthquakes, landslides and the like. Though the Hhetso would have surely put two and two together, were the cause geological, I measured the area's ether to be certain. There is indeed nothing to suggest recent environmental disruption, but I did notice one anomaly. Oh? A strong etheric signature to the east, moving across the plain, albeit slowly. So it's heading west. which is driving the Hhetso west. What do you think, Koana? To Alvidral? Given where we are, I believe we are dealing with a powerful beast. A predator, perhaps, given the local fauna's behaviour? One of the raptors we saw looked like it had a bite taken out of its tail, by something with very large fangs. It couldn't be. Two Hhetso? What now? Two Hhetso. Ronique Reaver, in the common tongue. Our people have several names for such creatures. Fangs that steal Hhetso in the night is another evocative one. Ronique can fend off many predators with their horns, but not the two Hhetso. Their scales are tough as adamant, and neither horn nor arrow can pierce them. A well-toothed carnivore with an unusually tough hide. I cannot recall any such fauna in this region. They usually roam the wilds in the northeast, and most herds keep well clear of them. Can't tell you why this one is so far from home and its pack both even. In any case, I believe the source of the Ronique's consternation is clear. This is our next move. We must drive this Reaver away that they might return to their grazing lands in peace. Never fear. We will make certain that the beast threatens you no more. Oh, he's got a new pet. Well, no, not pet. Equal. Okay, so we need to go and find... Oh! I was wondering whether there would be some kind of conflict. Those Ronique Reavers must have a hefty set of teeth. I'm not worried. We've fought worse. A powerful creature behaving unusually. Left to its devices, it may well become a Tural Vidral. Indeed. It won't do for us to go running off in search of it without having made proper preparations, and if others returning from across the plain have spotted it, they may be able to inform us of its recent behaviour and where it might be found. Okay. I'm not getting synced to 7:30, I'm nowhere near that. Because I spend all my time levelling rather than gearing up. Nice tail. Ooh.
Help! Help!
Help? Help, please.
Hhetso is coming this way.
To a Hhetso. Well, I mean, that makes things easier for us.
It has beasts across the plains in a panic, and our Ronek are practically paralyzed with fear. We must get them to safety.
We can assist by helping to calm the creatures. Once they're less agitated, it should be possible to hurt them.
And after they're out of harm's way, we'll deal with the Ronek Reaver.
That's not how you spell that.
I suggest you remain here to attend to the Ronek.
That's how you spell that.
They'll be safe with me. Please, be careful out there.
Duty commenced.
Make haste. We must protect the Ronek.
I'm sure they pronounced it Ronique
Behind you.
previously. Was that just me? In events. Yes, they are. They're not just following me, they're going a particular way. Ah, I see some Ronique. Ronique.
There they are.
Hi guys.
They're
Good ish.
terrified. We must do what we can to soothe them.
Oh, stroking. All right. Snuffle. Oh.
That herd should be all right. Let's look for stragglers.
Is this going to disappear?
The Ronek got to rally too. None shall be left behind.
Speaking of stragglers. That. Okay, they've got some
Come.
pterodactyls. Oi! Stop pecking them.
These are no match for the likes of us.
Like that. Oh. Hello.
Clearly an understatement.
Leave the Ronick alone. Oh, Wooklamut's tanking them. Of course she is.
More are coming.
I'll take this one then. Alpha alligator? Come here, you! Oh, this doesn't actually have any directional requirements. That's cheating. Oh, you're not dead. FFXIV. I'm assuming this isn't the thing that we're actually...
It seems that did the trick.
Be free, Ronnie!
For the fodder at least. But where's...
Ooh. Oh, hello. We monster huntering?
Look there! We've got a big one coming!
I thought they said it was slowly moving.
And wicked fangs. That's a Ronek Reaver, and no mistake.
Oh! Oh!
There! Flat one there!
Yeah, that's not working.
Not so fast.
Oof. Oh no. Cracked his glasses. That looked like it hurt.
Even should it cost me my life.
Don't be so melodramatic.
I will save the Hhetso!
Ah. Plonk. Oop.
Koana, are you all right?
Evanville.
Do
Retreat.
not concern yourself with me. Get the Ronek to safety.
There. You've nothing to fear.
Right. Let's finish the job.
Flipping. Is this a model that we've seen before?
To our people. You shall plague them no longer!
Right. In events. Come on then. Haha! I see what you did there, Koana. No directional requirements for this. That's good. Or is it just me that's actually doing damage? Oh no, it's just not taking any. Yeah, is it just regenning? Or has it got like a huge number of HP? Or is he scanning it? Go for the eyes, boo! Go for the eyes! Hey! Don't stack on me. Let's use some Bioblaster. It makes sense, he's an engineer. Machinist, even. Off with his leg.
Now we just have to keep it pinned.
Yoink! Still not taking any damage.
Protected current of ether. Whence does it flow?
Ah. To his tail?
I've got it!
Oh. No. I was hoping I'd still have FFXIV. Oh.
One well-placed piercing round to the chest, and... You're done for!
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
That stemmed the flow of protective ether.
Aha. Aha.
There's nothing stopping us now. Still not backing down, huh? Fine with me.
Yes, this is it's got very, very Monster Hunter-y vibes. I cocked that up. Because I am bad. Ooh. Oh shit. Anybody got any earplugs? No? Ow. Oh, it's done a thing.
Disperse that ether ere the river recovers it.
This is going to hurt.
Gotcha. What did I have at the end of that? Damage up +9. Nice. Ah, that'd be a good solo, GC. So was that the cause of all the problems, or is there more to it? You know, what caused this beast to head down here?
The Hhetso, are they?
The Ronek have all made it to Hhetso.
Mehwahatsun.
the area for any remaining threats.
I need a phonetics list for all these names.
We cannot thank you enough for your timely aid. You, most of all, Bow of Reason. We feared you would be loath to take direct action, yet you didn't hesitate to put your life on the line for our Hhetso.
You get lost in the moment.
I did no more than is a Dawn servant's duty.
Yes. Do with some new glasses. Do you not have spares, Koana?
The ethereal conductivity of those scales is astounding. I dare say we could repurpose them to create a device that emits controlled pulses of ether.
Ether resembling that of the predator the Ronek fear most.
That would keep them away from the traps.
Might work. If we struck the right balance, we would have the means to deter the Ronek from approaching the railroad. without causing them undue distress.
Yes, thank you, Owenville.
Incredible! Koana, you've done it again.
I must say, I was hoping I'd never have to see one of these again.
Are there many of them?
Still haven't forgotten the last one. And it's been more than 20 years now. I had come as a trader to the camp in Hhetso. A camp that was obliterated in an instant by that monster.
Yes, I'm assuming that we're going to learn here that Koana was abandoned by his parents because of one of these, and they left him somewhere safe because they knew that they were gonna...
Hhetso. That's where the Pelu trader found me as a babe.
Mm-hmm.
Please, can you tell me what you saw?
As I said, I had traveled there to trade with our fellow Hhetso. Like us, they followed the Ronek. And like us, they were visited by a reaver. The fiend struck like a whirlwind in the night. It was chaos. I grabbed some token belongings and bolted in a panic, thinking only of getting as far away as possible. But even in my panicked state, I could not help but notice the young couple racing the other way, toward the fell creature. "We're distracted," I heard one cry. "Save our son! Save the Hhetso!" After that, nothing but the pounding of my heart and feet and Ronek thunder. I ran and ran. And as the sun broke the horizon, I found myself separated from both man and beast.
I was correct.
Windborne words say that a group of survivors reunited with their remaining Ronek and have long since moved on. But still more were never seen again, including the brave couple. Or so the story goes.
And what became of their child?
I'm afraid I don't know. But if he wasn't with the survivors, even if he lived through that night, the wilderness wouldn't have been kind to a little one out on his lonesome.
Maybe not. But perhaps a passing Pelu would. And one day, even a Dawn servant himself.
Oh, come on, people. This is not a difficult thing to put together.
All these years, I was convinced that my parents had left me behind to follow after the Ronek.
We still have no proof, Koana.
Now I see. They didn't abandon me. They were trying to keep me safe. I've wasted so much time resenting them, when in truth, they gave me everything I have today. It is thanks to them that I live to know the warmth of family.
Again, no proof, but hey,
Even
it's a nice
after
story.
they were gone.
It's not a particularly complicated or innovative story, but it's a...
And now that I am Dawn's servant, all of Tuliyola is my family.
It's a nice heartwarming moment, at least.
A family I will always protect, as my parents protected me.
Owenville, on the other hand, straight for the scales. Okay, can't imagine how Koana must be feeling right now. That Reaver. I suppose it was the same one that's... We certainly got more than we bargained for when we set out to solve our railroad conundrum. You made fellow that Hhetso look easy. On behalf of the Hhetso, I thank you. If our Koana counts us among his family, then he's part of ours. To know that the Hhetso are safe is more than enough, yet would it be wrong to hope that in protecting them we also avenged my parents? It's the least I owe to them after all this time. Imogen, I thank you for standing by me, as Dawn's servant, and as the oft imperfect man beneath that mantle. Now, let us return our attentions to the matter we came here to address, shall we? We've removed the root cause of the Runnick straying from their favoured grazing, and obtained the tools to devise an additional precautionary measure, a silent whistle, as it were. This whistle must be capable of emitting pulses of ether strong enough that they will shy away from the tracks on instinct, yet not so strong as to drive them into a panic. If we can achieve this, it will be a far sight better than the traditional whistle, more effective, and less stressful for the creatures themselves. Yeah, so are we to assume, are we to make the link, the connection, that when we were told in the base expansion that something was disturbing the Runnick, it was actually this Reaver kind of at the limits of their territory and slowly moving westward. It probably got paused when the dome appeared, I would think. Let's return to Shaloni Station and begin work on it then. Walika and his crew will doubtless be relieved to finally have a solution. Hi guys. So, in terms of narrative, what do we have here that is creating the drama for us? What is the conflict? What are the situation? What are the problems that are impeding our protagonists from getting what they want? We want people in Alexandria to kind of turn the corner on their grieving from Sphene, and in doing so we want to enable those who want to leave the protection of the dome, we want them to actually have the ability and passage to do so, to return to Duliolol if that's where they came from, or just to go there because the dome is memories and they're not in any way used to having to cope with that. That strikes me as the conflicts. And there's not much of one there. We don't have an antagonist. We don't have somebody working against us. Surreal Jar is back, but he is involved in the FF11 Echoes of Vanadiel storyline. So we don't have an antagonist, but we do still have Ishtola and the Key as story hooks. We still have Sphene's crown as a story hook. So the question is, where is our next major, expansion defining or patch defining problem going to come? Well, no, patch series defining problem, because we don't have one currently. What we're dealing with here is very logical and very kind of almost expected story beats, but it's not big conflict, it's not big drama, it's smaller scale people based. And coming off the back of Shadowbringers and Endwalker with its big cosmic scale dilemmas, I suspect the patch cycle as is, this probably won't be appealing to everybody. Train will be ready in no time. I always carry a spare pair of spectacles or two, as it can be difficult to find replacements outside the city. You wouldn't believe how many I went through during the Righteous Succession. A variety of artisans from across Tural have come to assist with the railroad, so I foresee no difficulty in creating the whistle that Koana proposed. You're pleased about something? Good news for the railroad, I take it? Yes. Sir, the running crew avoiding a predator. Smart ones they are. And Koana's not too bad himself, what with his whistle idea. Sit tight. I'll have this train on the tracks before you know it. Sit tight? Yes.
We're ready to go.
So are they actually fitting it to the train? I guess that makes sense. Oh, I need to press the button. Choo-choo!
She looks as good as new.
If I had time to do a proper job, could have really made her shine.
But we need to get those people moving.
Had to cobble together the exterior with spare parts. We refurbished the interior, though. Not that you can appreciate it from out here. But as far as the Ronek are concerned, we've spared no effort. From the ballast to the ties, we've adjusted every bit of the track so she'll run quiet as a field mouse.
You and your crew have worked wonders. Our nation is in your debt.
What is this chap doing back here?
Come now.
Where's Sephiroth?
If anything, credit's due to Tuliolal. It's thanks to the folk you recruited from every corner of the continent that we were able to get her up and running so quickly.
Hmm?
Besides,
Is this the same medal that Sid's got?
And we wouldn't have that without the scales you brought us. However grateful you are, know that we're even more thankful.
Clap, 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 clap.
Right. If we're done talking, let's put this train through her paces.
Choo-choo! Choo-choo! Can't remember what that's a reference to. Actually, is it the emote from this? It could be. That is pretty quiet, actually. As someone who's been on many a steam train. Watch out! Running on the tracks!
There's a Ronek up ahead.
Now, to test our whistle.
On it. Just point it in the general direction and...
And off it goes.
It's moving away.
Steam trains don't move that fast either, so... But the others...
Meanwhile, our friends over there appear wholly unperturbed.
Nice. We're just walking along. I still feel that the edges of Demagen's lips are a little bit fuzzy.
With this, we can alert those who wander too close without disturbing the rest of the herd.
a roaring success! In a quiet way, like.
Trolleys!
Then with your permission, Vow of Reason, the Shaktaral Railroad is back in service.
Yeehaw! I mean, you're going to need some carriages. Now, anyone will be able to come and go from the dome as they please. I can't wait to spread the word in Alexandria. I expect that with the Reaver gone, the Renique will gradually return to their old habits, and we won't see somebody approaching the tracks. It's good to see that the whistle will be effective in the meantime, however. With that, I believe our work here is done. The fine people of Shaktaral Railing can take it from here. The folks that Vow Koana brought in to help rebuild the railroad have already returned home, but I hope we can give them a ride someday. Terrible, terrible. For a while there, we were real worried that you'd never get the railroad running again. But now the test drive was such a success, we can breathe easy and start hauling people to and from the dome. First Shaloni, and then the continent. Watch out, Shaktaral, here we come. I share the sentiment. We've got a mountain of work ahead of us to ensure smooth operations. Time to get back to it. The efforts of all here today have not gone unnoticed. Once more, I thank you. As for our own work, I trust you can handle matters in Alexandria, Lamity? Nod. It won't be as I once envisioned, but perhaps someday we can take that train journey to Yasralani together. Oh yeah, because we never got to, did we? Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.